Hello everybody, happy Friday. Where does the time go? We're already halfway through February. I thought I'd quickly note that there is going to be the first retro football fair of the year at the beginning of March. It's going to be in Sheffield and I will be attending at some point. So if you're knocking around and you do seem to bump into me, then you're more than welcome to say hi and we can talk about some football shirts, and maybe by that point I've already bought some, so you can have a little sneak preview to some video that probably will end up being released in April or something, with how much of a backlog I do have. But let's not talk about the future, let's talk about the here and now. And it's a football shirt, of course, that I'm going to be opening, and it is in this parcel right here. So it's going to be a simple one. There's no box this time, it's just a regular t-shirt. Sorry to disappoint, I'm not that crazy, though I may have a box arriving at some point, or should I say already arrived, because you can probably see it just above my shoulder there. Now let's get this one open. I'm really kind of interested to see this shirt, because when I bought it I couldn't actually see the full photographs of the entire shirt, so I'm kind of hoping the person who sold it me was genuinely honest about their description. So let's see what it is, and hopefully it has tags. Okay then. Da-da-da. I can feel some tags. There we go. Now then, let's get the shirt on the rear. Now then, we have a rather plain effort there, though it does have on the back of the neck there a club name. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Probably if you can read it, maybe some of you will be familiar with that one. But let's get round to the front. Let's hide those tags for a brief moment. And there we go. So you can see that there is an open collar there with some popper buttons, which I do quite like. There's a Homer manufactured shirt there. You do have the sponsor on the front, and possibly, if the camera's picking it up, there's like a little embossed little design there at the bottom. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? But there we go. It's a rather simple design, I'd say. And it's a rather simple club, or at least it was. But yeah, I'll go into a little bit more detail about the shirt and the history of the club, because it's actually rather interesting a little bit. And then, yeah, I'll explain to you how I managed to get my hands on this kind of rarely seen shirt, I suppose. Okay then everybody, there is the shirt. It's quite possible that you've never really heard of this team before seeing this video, and it's quite simply Trapani, and it's their home shirt from 2017-2018, so it's quite a few seasons old now. Now I bought this from a fellow football shirt collector. It came from a person who actually lives in Chile, though they were sort of visiting the UK, doing some sort of stadium hopping and touring around the country, and they brought a load of shirts with them, and it made it a little bit easier for people in the UK to make the purchase. So I ended up buying it for £30 including postage, so it probably ended up costing about £27, which I think is pretty decent for a team that you really don't see popping up too frequently. Now the club was founded in 1905, as it kind of mentions there, and it was refounded in 1930, and in 1937, and in 1990, and in 2002, and in 2021. Now the reasons for these refounding and dissolutions is kind of what it usually is in Italy. It's financial troubles. Now this shirt, of course, being released in 2017-2018 meant that this one was associated with a version just namely known as Trapani Calcio. So technically this is a club that doesn't really exist in this actual formation. Now the club is based in the city of Trapani, which is in Sicily. So it's an Italian team, similar to the one I just added for Napoli, though this one is a brand new one to my collection. Now they are known as the Maroons Granata, which, looking at the shirt there, yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. Though from what I was doing my research, I think their original colours were actually green. So I thought that's a bit of a jump from one colour to another one there. Now from what I can tell, their best achievement in their fractured history of a club was finishing third in Serie B, which was in the 2015-2016 season. So that wasn't all that far long ago, though quite clearly things have kind of dropped off a little bit, as they currently play in Serie D, sort of the fourth division. Now they currently sit in Serie D Group I. They sit in 7th place, which means that they still have a chance to get into those playoff positions. Last season they finished in 12th position, and the season before that they were banned from football, so they couldn't do it because they went bankrupt. So yeah, they're probably just happy that they're able to play a version of football right now. So as I mentioned, on the shirt, it's Homer, and on the back of the neck, it has the club name, though it obviously has changed many times over the years. And it does have, in the front here, the coat of arms for the city of Trapani, which is very nice. I love when clubs and shirts and teams do that, and I think it looks quite nice. Maroon, burgundy, whatever you want to use to describe this colour, is not always my favourite shirt colour. But, you know, when it comes to shirts and teams that rarely pop up, you know, you can't really say no when the price is also very, very nice. And I also find it quite interesting that this was actually originally in Chile. It's like it's so far removed from where it started out. So I like that. And, yeah, it's a simple, nice shirt, you know. I do like Italian teams. And sometimes it can be quite expensive to add them teams to your collection, partly because a lot of it involves a sort of shipping cost. But this one is just nice. It's a nice addition. Homer, I've got plenty of their shirts, and they seem to be pretty good at sort of finding the smaller teams from sort of major leagues, but also from smaller leagues around the world. So they make some good shirts. It's a nice design. It fits as you'd expect. Has these sort of white trims in there. Has the little button collars, which is rather nice. It makes it a little bit easier to sort of get it on, and you don't have to be sort of restricted around the neck and collars. But there we go. Simple shirt, nice and easy, kind of offsets the kind of ludicrous purchase that I made for the video at the beginning of the week. It just shows you that you can get some quite interesting and rather unique shirts for not particularly great amounts of money, and you can leave the sort of ridiculous purchases for people like me who just feel like they just want to spend money for the sake of it, when in reality is you don't really need to do that. So let me know what you think about the shirt. It's fine, isn't it? It's nice, it's interesting. And maybe if I find one of their most recent shirts, does that technically count as a different club? I think it kind of does, but kind of doesn't. Anyway, that is it. That is the end of the video. I do have more shirts to show you, which will be next week. I've got some that I've had for quite a while that a lot of you have actually been messaging me about. I think it's probably fair that I start opening those up, so at least you know that I definitely have them in my sort of lineup to come. So, guys, have a great weekend ahead. Thank you as always for watching my videos, and goodbye.